The first week as a new dad is insane, but it's a good insane. Think like Harley Quinn insane. So there are two things that I learned in that first week, which I think would be useful for me to share. That first thing is you don't feel what you're expected to feel. So you're told to feel this wave of emotion crash over you for love and affection once the baby's born. Um, I did feel that, but what I felt more of was a wave of responsibility. So I've been past this child and I've been told, not in these exact words, here is a life you're now responsible for the rest of your life. And that is quite a scary thing to hear, right? But you're not just responsible at that point for that new life. You're responsible for your partner who's just been through 9 months of what's most likely hell, and then however long labor was, and then their entire life changing. Mums are wired different. Their DNA, their genetics, they fall into mum life a lot easier. It's not easy for them, but it's easier for them than us. I'm prepared to face backlash for that one. But I mean it in a nice way. So in that first week when you're back home, focus more on acting as support staff than a parent and a partner. Just do everything that you believe is useful from a practical perspective rather than an emotional perspective. Give your partner everything that she needs, whether it's food, whether it's a certain cushion and a certain angle. Just do all these things. Don't worry too much about providing a lot of emotional support because your partner's emotions are going to be all over the place anyway. It's just how the hormones work and so on. And realistically, you don't have a lot of space in your mind to handle the emotions that are going to be flying around over the next few weeks. So think about practicality over emotion. Support staff rather than parent and husband or partner. Another quick thing to touch on is how time changes. So we found it quite daunting when it was coming to nighttime and my mother-in-law would leave. She helped us out the first few days. Sounds really weird to say you get sad and a bit scared when your mother-in-law leaves the house, but I'm quite fortunate that I've got a great one that I love. It's quite daunting. We're two young parents the first time being left alone. It's really scary. Do we just go to bed now? Do we take baby with us? And it all just goes that easily. We found it a lot easier not to think about day and night and to think it's a 24-hour period and just take it 1 hour at a time. And it took off the pressure of you should be doing certain things at certain times of the day. It took that pressure off us. We've got enough pressure on us in this first week. It might mean we're having dinner at midnight, or we're having breakfast at 3 a.m, or we're watching a movie 1 a.m. It just made our life a bit easier. So I highly recommend doing that.